Welcome back to my lathe. At the moment I'm working on two different projects, but both of them are a little bit more complicated than most of the projects that we've done so far. So it's going to take me a little bit of time to work on them, since I also have to prepare a couple of jigs for those specific projects. So those are going to take some time. In order to keep the channel alive with some content and some changes, I took a break from those projects and I want to go treasure hunting today. Lately I've seen a few videos, I think by Stephen Ogle and a few others, about finding wood and how and where to do that. Obviously everyone has a different situation where they can get and find wood. This time I picked up a log from my log pile, and this is eucalyptus. It's European eucalyptus, which is very common in Italy, where I live. And this log is quite seasoned. It's been drying. It has been drying in the field where I picked it up for a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, and it went on drying behind my shed for another year now. It's very dry. Eucalyptus is very hard when dry. It's very soft and nice to work with when wet, but this piece is quite dry. It has a lot of cracks and checks that run some of the way along it, so I have no idea what is going to be inside this log. I'm just going to chuck it up and turn it into a spindle blank and see what remains of it, and we'll try to make something of it. I'm not sure what, but we'll try and see what's hiding inside this. Okay, so we have this log turned round. Some of the cracks have disappeared, obviously because they were very shallow, only on the bark level. This piece, as you can see, I think it's a little bit burned here with the light, too much light, or actually this is my secondary camera, as my main camera is broken and I don't know when I'll be able to afford to fix it, so this camera, I don't know, burns the light a bit. I'm gonna try to create some shadows. So we have some very nice bird eyes. This is probably a little bit burly, this piece. There's not a lot, but there's some bird eyes, and here there's a nice eye, and the color of the wood here is a pinkish orange, very typical to the European eucalyptus. I've created a tenon on both sides, so I'll be able to cut this piece in half and make something with one half, and then if I want to I can make something with the other half. I really like this little piece of bird's eye with a little bit of coloration. I think I'm going to actually try to work this and around this part for whatever I'll be doing now. I will probably go for a small hollow form, as I can see that most of the cracks obviously are from the side. I want to use the central piece and then round it off from there. I hope I can keep this piece as much of it as possible. It's a little bit sunken into the wood, so I hope I'll be able to round everything around it, but keep that specific piece as whole as possible. There are a couple of bark pieces here that I'm going to try to remove without damaging the wood itself. So let's see if that will work. Well, it worked partially. I was able to remove a little piece of it. I'm just going to work on it, and hopefully maybe some of the bark of this piece of bark will remain, and we'll send it into the piece. There is a very small, almost invisible crack running the center of this pattern, so I'll probably fill it with CA glue just to be sure. There's a lot of small cracks all around, but all of those I can either leave for effect or simply fill with CA glue and sawdust, but we'll see what remains. So I'm going to work on this piece, trying to make as much as of this part of the wood into my hollow form, although I do want to keep this eye in it, but here I got a nasty crack.
But faded into
Okay, this is pretty much as round as it's going to be. Again, there's this very nice element with this little bark inclusion. I'm trying to fend off some light with some nice color and very nice bird's eye. There's some bright wood, there's some dark screeches, some dark coloring here. It's the more common eucalyptus color here, which is an orangey pink color. Maybe later I'll bring in some old eucalyptus balls I've made years ago. I can tell you that after 3-4 years that passed from the time that I've made those balls that I will hopefully show you later, the color was preserved perfectly. I did treat those balls with mineral oil, so that could explain also the longevity of the color. As you know, mineral oil does not cure. So okay, let's start to round this off and see where this takes us.
it's nothing. The hypocrisy just
Okay, what happened here now was that I was accidentally trying to cut uphill instead of scrape. I was trying to scrape, but my tool came at a bad angle. It dug into the grain because I was cutting into unsupported grain, and I got a cut and I got a catch, and the piece of wood almost flew off the chuck.
hates in
5-minute break to sharpen a little bit my tools. I'm going to sharpen my spindle gouge, which I'm working with now. I'm going to sharpen my bow gouge. I'm going to sharpen my round nose, my large, it's not very large, but it's my largest now, round nose scraper. While I'm at it, let's see if there's anything else. Actually, I have this very old spindle gouge. It's a wide, shallow spindle gouge someone gave me a few years ago, and actually it is sharpened, so I don't need to sharpen it, but I might try a few cuts with it just to see how it feels. Okay, so I have a fresh grind on my spindle gouge, on my bow gouge, and on my round nose scraper. I feel safe to go back working. I still have some tear out here from the catch. I'm gonna have to turn it off, or turn it away. Turn it away. Okay, this would be a good time to start filling up the cracks with CA and sawdust. Since this is pretty much the final shape, I'm going to round this a little bit more with the scraper, but this would be the shape of our vase, and well, obviously now I can see it's a vase or a hollow form. I'm going to fill up the cracks with some super thin CA and some sawdust that you can see all around here. It's good, nice and small and dry. It will go inside the holes well. So let's set up for that.
Chicago. I didn't know where else to go. I was paid to shoot a man. I just shot him and then I ran. I didn't even get the money I owed. I turned around and took to the road. I've been wandering to and fro and made my way to Chicago. I see the fire of the barrel and bullets fly like an arrow. I see the trouble in the poor man's eyes. I see his soul take to the skies.
And here we have the finished vase. I'm sorry I didn't film the entire hollowing process, but you will see in a second why. As you can see, the finish came out really nice. It's nice and reflective. The colors are, as I said, amazing. And there's a very beautiful feature on the other side. Yep, this is what happens. This is what happens when you fight Engrain, my nemesis, Engrain. Here is some of the missing pieces. There we go. We have a small piece that came out of here, and I couldn't find the other pieces that broke off the rim. But it does give us a nice view of my cut. As you can see, the width of the wood on the rim and in this corner here are pretty much the same, which is about 2 millimeters. But in the curve, it's still quite thick. I could have done some more on it, only it's too late now. Well, this happens. We all have to get used to it. Not every project is a success, but still, like the other projects, I've learned a lot from it. It was a truly nice piece of wood though. I just might have another go with another piece someday when I'm prepared to tackle end grain again. I hope you learned and enjoyed something from this video, and I hope to see you again.
Pack your bags and leave this town. I don't wanna see you coming round. No, I don't wanna waste my precious time again. With the Star Trek sticker on your Cadillac, I don't wanna wanna see you coming back. No, I don't wanna see your gloomy face again. Waiting takes more time than letting go. Sitting at a stop sign, wasting time when I'd rather be speeding on the 99. This relationship just won't shift out of neutral. You say that you'll be ready soon, but I've already heard that tune, and I don't think you're ready for a new role. Waiting takes more time than letting go. Waiting takes more time than letting go. Take your car or hop a train, call a cab or fly a plane. I'm sick of waiting in this intersection. Waiting takes time and I ain't got my shirt all buttoned and my shoes all knotted, and I gotta start moving in some